Sega Saturn, Sega Saturn, SHIRO.
Hey everybody, it's Friday and it's SHIRO Show. I'm Saturn Dave, and this is Train
I'm
Co.
Patrick doing the little hand thing.
How you doing, Pat?
Keep interrupting you, even though I know I need to wait for you to finish the intro, but I'm dumb and keep interrupting you.
Well, maybe we should just change it. I don't know. I don't really care.
No, I don't like change. No change.
Okay.
No change.
Yeah, so we've got Bulk Slash today, part 4.
Part 4.
Patty Cakes is gonna do the honors. You're gonna man the mech, right?
Yep. Hopefully it doesn't crash.
With Naira.
Sorry, I meant to not crash the. Sorry, I meant the stream crashes. The game's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's.
So
I'm really dumb today.
I just realized my mic is like way the hell over there. Like fix that right now. Sorry to everybody
bring
who
your mic forward.
There we go. There we go. Hey, so yeah, I'm gonna do I can make it the first hour, and then Pat is actually gonna grab the stream and take it from there for the second hour. We're gonna try that. Yeah, I'm taking the kids out tonight. We're gonna do like a pizza out and do the park and everything like that. So,
which pizza place you going to?
It's a
Chuck
local.
E. Cheese, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do Chuck E. Cheese because they have such good pizza. No,
Yeah, don't give exact locations. Just like is it like a
No, it's a place called Pizza Luigi's. It's a good place.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway, have
Anyway,
Saturn fans showing up now.
yeah. So how's everybody doing? How's everyone in the chat? We've got 24 people in the chat. So shouts to all you guys for actually watching the stream. Yeah. And what have you been up to this week?
For Expand. I think people have noticed that like the Netlink Expand chat has just exploded this last couple days.
Yeah, no kidding. What happened? What took so long? Like seriously, this whole week has been an Expand week for me. I mean, aside from being up to my eyeballs in work and taking care of the kids and stuff like that, it's like every evening when I come home, like I got Emerald, like, can you test this out or something like that, you know? And no, it was really cool. I'm actually really glad that Emerald. I'm glad that you got the 1001, the older ones, because I understand you were up and running, right? You're like playing matches and stuff.
Can I take this minute to just wish nothing but the most inconvenient life for the engineers at Cisco?
Yes,
like
you can do that.
Should always be constantly slightly too salty. Just you know, their penis is slightly too small. Just anything to make their life slightly harder than it needs to be. Because I spent a whole week trying to test games and I got one good game out of it. I plug in the 1001. I'm playing freaking Puyo Puyo. I'm getting into Duke.
Yeah.
I'm playing Sega Rally. Like it just freaking works.
Because those guys, when they were designing that latest VoIP adapter, they knew that some nerd would be playing trying to play his Sega Saturn on it. That's why, you know. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, this whole week is like taking me back to like 3 years ago when Kay and I were just like, Kay or Zaiden or a Sega RPG fan, we're just like, okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I'm waiting. You know, wait, I forgot to wait. You know, and okay, I'm dialing. And we were just like hammering out settings and testing different codecs and stuff like that. And seriously, like 3 years ago, I was telling folks, you guys got to get this set up, you know. And Pat got a Netlink, but I guess this week was this week finally clinched it for you, Pat. Right? You went ahead and got a VoIP adapter.
Like, I'm like the Homer meme where I'm in the bar and there's like everyone with the VoIP adapters and networking stuff, and I'm sitting there like with nothing. So I was like, okay, I'll join the party, guys. You win. So I bought my VoIP adapter, and hopefully I have no problems with it and it works out the box, because I don't want to get frustrated and throw it against the wall like I do with various other products I own.
I mean, like I said, I had a couple successful matches with Knight, and he has the same one you just got, and it was super smooth. I mean, when I say super smooth, I'm not talking like, okay, so people need to understand, like over this week, Trekkies dialed up like over an analog POTS line. He dialed up Cameron Sundane up in Canada, up in Toronto. So you got what was it, he's in Pennsylvania to Toronto, and they were able to have like a flawless exemplary Bomberman match. And Bomberman,
to be fair, Toronto isn't that really far from Pennsylvania anyways.
Well, still, but like Emerald is in New Mexico, right? And I'm in California. That's not that far either. But we were having a hell of a time with that other adapter. But I'm sure we won't have a hard time now. But anyway, so yeah.
I want to do real challenges. I know somebody in our thing in Germany has one, so I kind of want to call them up and see what kind of lag I get with that.
I wouldn't count on it. I tried dialing Ray, and he's over in Eastern Europe, and that did not work out well.
But he's also using the ATA. Isn't he using the ATA 191, like the newest one?
No, I was the only one, which was a mistake. I thought I was gonna try doing something not end of life, but you know what? The Saturn's been at end of life for like 25 years, so screw it.
Well, what about, so what does Ray have? What VoIP adapter?
Pretty sure it's a 1001 like everyone else. And he can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, correct him, because his menu looks totally different.
Really?
He has a different one.
Yeah, he has a different one. But yeah, that might be part of the reason why you were having trouble. Because I know Dan, Retrospectors, it's a great channel. You guys should check it out. He's also in our Netlink. He's on our Netlink directory. He did a call with a dude in Switzerland, and I mean, it was like they played. You know, there's a video up on YouTube of him going head to head against a guy in Switzerland. So that's New York to Switzerland. It works. It's it's not
in these fights.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not nothing's going to be as good as getting an analog phone line, but I even checked, like, I'm not even sure I can get like a traditional phone line in California anymore. There are places in the United States where you can call up AT&T or whatever, but I found an article that AT&T like discontinued that quietly in 2020 while everybody was, running around worrying about COVID. Like they just kind of quietly discontinued their POTS service and are doing like replacement.
California is weird with that stuff. Like, did you hear about the computer thing that they had where because of certain power regulations that they aren't allowed to sell certain computers there, that you have to get certified?
Yeah, I've heard of
it's about pre-builts.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much get any power supply you want there, but like who buys a Dell computer anyway?
Actually, I don't know. The Alienware cases look kind of nice, but I'd rather just build my own. So yeah, it's not a problem for me. But I mean, I looked up a video of it, and it's just like certification stuff. So just let it get certified, and it'll be good to go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I was telling Dave that I actually do have a phone line that's, I think I'm able to tap into it. But the thing is, it's in the kitchen, so I'll either have to run a giant telephone line from the kitchen to my room, or set up a Saturn in my room, which I don't think my roommate would appreciate either one.
Yeah, I was gonna look into it. I've got jacks in this house, but they're not activated, and I'm not even sure at this point if they could be. But I know Trekkie was just like, get one. I think it would probably come out to like $30 a month. But then again, you just got that VoIP adapter, right, for like $16 plus like a few bucks shipping, right? And then you're
$20 when it's said and done.
Mine because it's a 1001 and you linked it and it was like the last one.
It really was.
The SPA 212 or whatever it's called
2102
is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
What?
2102.
2102. So the SPA 2102 is cheaper, works just as well, and there's so many of them available on eBay. And if you guys want to see what it looks like, Trekkie's has a stream up on his Twitch right now, Trekkies Unite with Up 118. And he's streamed all the test cases for a bunch of different games between him and Knight, and I think at least one or two with me, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, like it's if you're interested, this is kind of your fault, Dave, because you called me out last stream and you told people that I was working on that tutorial. I was not even going to get started on that tutorial until like next year, and all of a sudden it's like, okay. And now I'm asking Trekkies to test for me. I break his VoIP adapter. He gets a new one.
Yeah.
And now you break your cart slot, and you end up having to reseat stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Like everyone's having these troubles. Now everyone has their stuff working after a week. So everyone's like an excuse to play.
It's ironic.
Hey, listen, we're the kings of throwing people directly underneath the bus.
That's what we do.
So like we throw them under the bus and keep and call them out and be like, you do this now, or else we're gonna be not happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, you mentioned doing it. You mentioned doing a video tutorial, and I thought it was a great idea. I didn't realize that I was basically putting it in stone by putting it on the show, talking about it on the show. But I guess that's true. The ironic part about this is that you reached out to me a couple weeks ago to confirm your feelings that, the Netlink over VoIP is so inferior to the whole serial to USB. Like, potentially, the potential for serial to USB is infinitely great, you know, if you guys can implement it, right? And you said water fuel, you know, got it working, at least from like a proof of concept, you know, that it sends data. And I mean, so it's like it's funny and ironic that we're back to like doing this now. We're all like hyped about the Netlink over VoIP thing, but
I mean, you want to have an informed perspective, and also, you know, in case that there can't be a patch over the serial port, you want to be able to play those games still.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturn.dreampipe.net. You can get the pre-patched games.
That's right.
If you get yourself, you know, 2102, there's like a dozen people now with their location that will help you, you know, get a game going.
And here's a secret. I don't know if Knight is gonna test this out, but a lot of folks who wanted to do maybe like a convention or just like a demo at their own house where they're dialing one Saturn to another, you'd have to use like a TLS, like phone line simulator, which those are pretty expensive. We're talking like $100 to $200 for one of those Viking phone line simulators. And it turns out that this 2102 has 2 physical line ports, and that it could actually, you can program it to have line 1 call line 2. So theoretically, you could plug in 2 Saturns at a convention or something using the 2102 and maybe use that instead of a phone line simulator. It is something that he was excited about. So I'm hoping that works, because that'll be a much cheaper option if we want to do like local play on games that don't have Tyson support, but have, you know, like doing a Bomberman match or something like that. Local.
Or virtual on local match.
Anyway, yeah. Well, sorry guys that for those who are watching are like, what are the guys talking about? Yeah, this whole week has just been like a flurry of after work every day, like you know, a bunch of folks testing Netlink settings and just going like, what? It works. So, you know, and the high point I think really was Trekkies and Cameron, you know, showing off traditional Netlink over an analog phone line. That really was like the best case scenario. But still, what was it? I think the 2 guys in Pennsylvania, it's not it's Trekkies and was it Knight? Anyway, I forget who guys.
It's Trekkies at Night, but I think we should be careful starting to advertise everyone's locations.
Oh right, well, I mean, if you guys join the Netlink Expand channel, you can kind of see in the directory roughly where people are located, so that you know what the best scenario matchup is going to be. But
yeah, I asked people, do not show up at my house, please. I know there's probably nothing stopping you, but I really would appreciate if you wouldn't show up at my house.
Yeah.
So
you know what's really bad is like
thanks.
Emerald Nova is not too far disconnected from my actual name and job, considering I work for the government. So as a courtesy to me,
say no more. I will say no more.
Yeah, if you show up in Albuquerque, just ping me in the Emerald Nova Discord before you start, you know, looking around where I'm living.
Hey, you just
really
said the A word. I never said the A word. I just said New Mexico.
Dude, there's one city in New Mexico. Where do you think I live? In freaking Tejeras or something like that?
There's one.
Obviously, I live in the one place that's going to have internet.
I gotcha.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, could be anywhere, but you know what? If you watch Breaking Bad, you can see his house.
That's right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Breaking Bad.
Unironically, yes. Like, you could see the location of where my house is.
So yeah, if you watch Breaking Bad, you can go see him in the background waving, playing Saturn. You look through his window, you just see him with a Netlink setup.
Yeah.
I've got a question. Like, or could you guys maybe explain what the hell you're trying to do and with what?
Right. So we are trying. There used to be an old group called the Netlink League. And it was a group of an online forum of folks who would do head-to-head matchups, Sega Saturn, Netlink head-to-head matchups with like the 5 US games that would support it. And they would do it over analog phone line. And then, of course, subsequently, analog phone lines are not only expensive, but also hard to come by for some folks, myself included. And so Cameron, Zaiden, and Sega RPG Fan, these 2 guys, Hawker Zero, a couple other guys came together from that group on the Dreamcast Talk forum several years ago and basically hacked out this solution to use a VoIP adapter and get the latency down enough so that it was actually playable. And it was several phone conversations, several text messages, lots of testing. But they got it to the point where you could use this this Linksys VoIP adapter to basically send your, to send the data traffic to the other Saturn. And so that's how we're trying to do it now. We're basically trying to put that league, I guess, back together, just put a directory of people together that are basically game to play NetLink over VoIP. And the cool thing is that recently Sega RPG Fan was also able to patch out all of the Japanese games, the retail Japanese games, patch those out so that those will work now without having to reach out to a server. Used to be you had to have a prepaid phone card in Japan and they would reach out to a server that would broker the connection between two Saturns. Now they're patched out for head-to-head, so they work just like the US games. It's just there's a tiny difference in how you go about dialing the person, but it's pretty much just as simple. And so yeah,
we named the league the Saturn Vampires.
Saturn.
That's
Okay.
my vote.
That's your vote.
Like Hollywood vampires, except we're more awesome.
Yeah, so if folks are watching this and they're even remotely interested in playing head to head, I'm not gonna say online, but I guess over the internet, it's not really online gameplay. It's just like head to head dial up. But if you're interested in that, then like Emerald said, go grab yourself a cheap, like $15 or $16 Linksys VoIP adapter. It's the SPA 2102. And a NetLink, which those are getting pricey now because more people are becoming aware of this, or they're just collecting peripherals. But NetLinks...
Just go to Yahoo Auctions Japan and go import one. It's probably cheaper anyways.
Yeah. How much was yours, Pat?
I think it was like $20 or less, and it was like the complete in box, so all 3 games, then NetLink, the cords.
Oh right, you got Habitat, you get all those the Nifty disk or whatever, which those I don't think can work in any capacity because those actually did have to reach out to those Nifty servers. But that said, you know, you get the modem, you can do like Pat said, do the Yahoo Auctions Japan. Get the Japanese NetLink. It'll work fine using the patched games that you can get on the DreamPipe or Saturn.dreampipe.net. There you go.
Yep.
Does that explain it?
that explains one option. Can you also explain, like, there's a debate going on with 2 to 3 options? What are the other options? What's that Tyson cable everyone's talking about?
I think we should probably talk about that later on in the other chat because we got to get to the news.
But folks should check out. I don't know, 2 SHIRO shows ago we talked about all of this in the beginning, and we were talking about the development of such a cable. So yeah, that's still speculative because it's basically infinite potential, but it doesn't exist yet, so it's kind of like a vaporware thing.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it more in the after show, and we have videos on it on our YouTube page for the Tyson cable stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't mean to cut you off, but we just got to get to the news.
For sure. All right, so let me pull up the web browser. Bada bing, bada boom. And I guess we start with World Heroes. Perfect. Best of Saturn.
Yes. Kind of an ironic title since the game is not that great. So
no, it's certainly not perfect.
Imperfect. World Heroes Imperfect. But I guess for those that aren't in the know, World Heroes Perfect was ported for the Neo Geo. It was developed by ADK, who also did the amazing Twinkle Star Sprites, which is, in my opinion, the best game on the Neo Geo. But I mean, it's not here or there, but it was developed in assistance with SNK and published by SNK exclusively in Japan in 1996. And it's technically the 4th and final game in the World Heroes series. Thankfully. I hate that series so much. So it's going to be really biased. I mean, it's fun for what it is, but I mean, World Heroes is not. It's not my game. It's
the lesser. I would argue it's the lesser of. And sorry to anybody who's a big fan, but it's kind of the lesser of ADK's. ADK has better. I mean, SNK, of course, I think made way better fighters, but ADK, what was their better series? Would you say?
Twinkle Star Sprites. I can't remember what games they do off the top of my head.
They do any other fighters?
Let me check
I'm
it
putting
out.
I'm putting Pat on the spot because he's the Neo Geo guy.
You are. They did Magician Lord, which is amazing.
Yes, it is. The music is amazing too.
Let's see. Did they do? I don't think that they. No, they didn't do Waku Waku 7. That was somebody else. But,
No, that was Sansa. I think.
Yeah, but I don't think they really did many fighting games besides besides that, unless I'm forgetting a major one. So if I am, I don't apologize because I don't care about the fighting games.
But Peter's whole best of Saturn series isn't necessarily calling out like the best games on the Saturn, but just like bringing attention to games that people don't really talk about, you know, or even some that
Cross Swords. That game is pretty fun.
Yeah, Cross Swords was weird. It was like that first person perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk.
I think that was Ninja in Combat you're thinking of.
Okay, I thought Cross Swords was like almost like a, you know, like Super Punch Out style thing. But anyway,
it might have been. I never played Cross Swords, but I know Ninja Combat is like first person.
So basically, I'm gonna tell folks the things that Peter wanted, you know, us to talk about the game. Essentially, it was a MVS title later ported to AES. It was the only non-SNK system to get a port when it was current, but it has now shown up in places like Wii's Virtual Console and various compilations. Uses the 4-button setup similar to Neo Geo controller, programmed by ADK with assistance from SNK. Does not use the 1 megabyte cartridge that SNK were so partial towards. It incorporates some elements of the previous World Heroes games. There were 3. World Heroes, World Heroes 2, and then World Heroes Jet. And then it was not as well received as the King of Fighters or the Samurai Spirits series, but respected and considered to be pretty good fighter. I think this is one of those ones where if you have an AES, it's one of the easier games to pick up, you know, for cheap because of that.
Yeah, I suppose, but I wouldn't spend like $50, let alone $1 for that game. No offense to people that like it, but dang,
man, Pat.
World Heroes is like the redheaded stepchild of fighting games on the Saturn.
Okay, any of our top Patreons want to chime in on this and just say what they feel about this game?
So the only fighting games I really play are Smash and Ultimate Mortal Kombat. So like, I know nothing about
completely
any of these
impartial.
games.
Yeah, good choices, by the way. Smash and Ultimate Mortal Kombat, both good choices.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I forgot, if you guys want to be able to chime in on the articles, definitely back us on a Patreon. I think it's the third highest tier or the fourth highest. I can't remember that you get to chime in on news articles.
Yeah, basically, I think it's the highest tier for you to be unmuted during our show.
Gotcha.
But how apropos, Pat also wrote up a little retrospective on our second podcast episode ever, our Neo Geo on Sega Saturn episode.
Yeah. Actually, I did not. This actually had no. This was not timed or intended.
Complete
It just lined up
coincidence.
perfectly because Peter had that, and this is the second episode in our show technically.
Right, he times those things way in advance, so I was just like, oh, that's serendipity. We talked about this
it's pretty
game.
Funny.
I listened, actually. We talked about this game on the cast, and you did rip it back then too. So at least you're consistent, Pat.
I hate my World Heroes like everybody else, dude. I hate it as much as everyone else does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So talk about this podcast. So our second ever podcast, and Pat was like really keen to do Neo Geo on the Saturn. And it was an easy one to do because there are a lot of Neo Geo ports on the Saturn. Saturn got a lot of Neo Geo love, mostly the fighters.
Exactly.
But it got some Metal Slug.
And Twinkle Star Sprites, of course. Can't forget that one.
I always kind of in my mind consider In the Hunt to be kind of like a Neo. I mean, it feels like a Neo Geo game. It's by IREM, and it's by the same guys that would go on to be Nazca. So it feels a lot like Metal Slug, and we did get it on the Saturn, but technically it's not a Neo Geo game. But anyway, I don't know. What else do you want to say about this? It just makes me feel old that we're talking about this.
Well, when we first started the cast, it was kind of funny because I was listening back to the updates, and I was going to my final semester of college at the time, and I was incredibly busy, just sort of focusing on passing my classes and leading other people in my capstone project. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was shocked of how much stuff you did in like a day or two, where it's like, oh yeah, we got a iTunes, oh yeah, we got a Facebook, oh we got YouTube, oh we got Twitter. I like waking up, it's like, wait, what? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
And
my
it's
day
like,
job
Dave, like-
actually took my day job. I sacrificed my day job a little bit that that like weekend or whatever to get all that done, you know. But
Yeah, but I was very surprised and glad that he ended up doing that, and it was just amazing that we woke up and we had all this stuff, and we had an audience starting to grow, and it's kind of funny because at the time, sort of, I was getting into the MBS stuff, which I brought up on the podcast that I got the super gun set up. Kind of timed it perfectly with that. Again, that was unintended. I just wanted to get into Neo Geo stuff because I was a big fan of it and always wanted to figure out a way to get into the good stuff. And at the time, I had one game, which was King of Fighters 98. I still have it on the shelf over there, but I'm not going to go pick it up. Just to pretend I have the cartridge in my hand and just use your imagination on
it's
that
really
one.
World Heroes perfect.
I will literally just chuck that right against the wall if that was the case. I will not pollute my collection with World Heroes.
Was that when you were picking up the Vulix? The arcade Vulix stick?
That was, I think that was in December of that year.
Oh, okay, all right.
December of that year. It was a little bit afterwards, which I get an adapter for. It's not the best to put on your lap though, so it was kind of awkward because I had the CRT like in front of my bed when I lived with my parents, and I would just play it in front of the TV. It was nice and it was kind of nostalgic, but it was very uncomfortable, especially for light gun games. But
Well,
it was a lot of fun. I think I watched the Sega Lord X's video on Neo Geo at the time, which I think technically doesn't exist anymore because it was when he deleted his channel and remade it, so it's technically not the same video that I mentioned watching in that podcast, sadly.
Right. Yeah, but if folks, if you haven't listened to this, or if you've only been listening to like the recent SHIRO stuff, go ahead and check it out. We still stand by a lot of our views that we expressed on this episode. I guess the only thing that you'd have to bear in mind is that anytime we mention price, you can pretty much throw that out the window just to add a couple $100 because in the last 3 years, things have kind of gotten out of hand.
Yeah, because I remember we brought up again the price on Panzer Dragoon and Psychic Assassin for $500, and that's not the case anymore.
Not the case anymore.
Add about 1,000 of that, and you're pretty close.
These a-holes came along and started a Saturn podcast.
Raise the prices on
Encourage
everything.
people to buy Saturn games.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
I just encourage people to go back and check out those old episodes. I think they're still good. Like when I'm on like a really long road trip for Christmas or whatever like that, and I've just got nothing to listen to, I go back to the old episodes because it's nostalgic. You know, I get to hear you and Kay talk, and it's fun. You know, it's just fun to. A lot of that stuff hasn't changed. I mean, we're talking about a console that's over 25 years old, so a lot of that stuff doesn't really change. And I stand by everything I said there. I probably said too much as usual. Is any chance Nick is probably at work? He's probably not in the chat.
He's in the chat on the channel
on
itself.
YouTube. Yeah. But basically, this next article is it's all Nick. He wrote this up. But essentially, if you guys watched his incredible mini documentary on virtual racing, my favorite so far, and all of his videos have been excellent. But I think this one really, this one was just, maybe I like it a lot because I like the game virtual racing, you know. You know, he talked about this super secret cheat code that Chuck Tolman told him about, like explained to him, but like he tried so hard to get it working, and in the end, I think he just had to kind of like show the video files from the disk, you know, on a PC, because he wasn't able to access it. It's such a convoluted, process to get these to get this cheat to work. But it is explained in depth on Nick's video. And then, lo and behold, of the folks that watched Nick's video, there were like 8,000 folks that watched Nick's video. A YouTuber called The Dude went ahead and did it. And he got it working, and he put up a video on YouTube that you can check out through this link. showing.
Yeah, to be completely fair though, the way that Tolman described it was very convoluted, and he probably is not remembering. He probably didn't remember all the steps because I mean it was over 20 years ago. And
Right.
literally, I was like mouth aghast when he was doing the interview and said the code out like of his mouth off the top of my head. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I can't even remember like any of that stuff like from my work. How do you even remember that? Like.
Yeah. Actually,
It's
it reminds
insane.
me when we interviewed Tom Kalinske, he said, you know, whenever I would ask him a question, he was like, wow, you're really taxing my memory. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, guy. You know, like, I get it. Like, you've done so much in your career, you know, you've done so much subsequently. And I'm trying to ask you about some niche thing that you're supposed to remember from like a quarter of a century ago, you know? So I kind of felt the same way with our most recent interview. Some of the questions I know were like really geeky questions, and I was just like, I'm really sorry if I'm, you know, getting in way too far into the weeds with these questions, but you know, Pat can relate.
Yeah, I can relate to that, and it definitely was fun doing the interview with Tolan though. But the last interview was a lot of fun, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. We're teasing it so much, but I think you guys are gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, I
of me
don't want to
kinda
give
wants
it
to be
away.
like,
I don't want to give it away.
exactly. Part of me wants to like tease it a little bit, but I kind of don't want to. So sorry, guys.
Yeah.
When's it go up?
Nick is editing it, and I guess we have some exclusive. So I will just say this: the person that we interviewed was he had access to at least some visual collateral that I have not found anywhere else on the internet, and so at least that we'll need to, you know, put in as a video element, you know, for the YouTube side of things, so that folks can see what we're talking about in the interview. But as soon as we're able to do that, we'll get it up in audio and in video. And I think that
we're definitely gonna. I think we're gonna put the Tolan one up soon too, as well, right?
Oh, I did not know that.
That's soon.
Makes sense.
I thought because I remember we talked about that we wanted to put up the interviews that Nick did as like a supplement, so we have the entire interview.
Oh yeah, that
So I
would be
know
awesome.
we have Toland. I think we're gonna do Peter Molyneux. I need to talk to him about that. I think I might talk to him with that instead of like crank those out like within like a couple days or something.
Yeah.
And just queue them up because I think they're very valuable interviews, and I know he, like even listening into the Tolan interviews, there was so much more that he included. Like what Nick had was like, what Nick had was fantastic.
Pat. Anyway,
Yeah.
Nick's on a roll, and he'll have the Tolman full edit up soon. And I do want folks to. So if you have virtual racing and you like the game enough to at least open up this, unlock this cheat, go ahead and check out this video linked from the dude. Thank you, the dude. Shouts the dude for actually spending time to get this working and showing us that yes, you can actually access all of these old cool little stop animation videos that they did through your actual Saturn. So it does indeed work. It's not just one of those urban legends. It's not like the Tomb Raider nude code or whatever, you know. Nude Raider. Yeah. So do we want to move on, or do you want to say anything more about that?
Just want to say I love Pandemonium.
Yes, we do. We love Nick and the man.
Love you,
Peace.
dude.
Shouts.
Love
Have
my
a good
panda,
rest of your Friday.
Much love.
If you're still at work, I'm sorry.
Work it out. Work it out. Da-na-na-na.
And then finally,
Whatever.
well, maybe not finally, but at least finally for the website, because this is the last thing we have up. And no thanks to me, because I haven't actually put up any articles this week.
Dave's cracking the whip on me, making me put out all those articles. It's like, hey, do this, Patrick.
Well, A-Team, shouts to A-Team for being so awesome. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that we're doing the show today, that he like cranked this out just in time. It was like this went up like just today, right?
Yeah, the thing is that we're not going to do it till next week, so.
No, we're not going to be able to we're not going to be able to showcase it, but at least we can talk about it. Derek, what are you on? Like, what kind of speed are you taking that you just got done with? Like, maybe it was an easier
game. The guy
game.
is a translation machine.
The guy is a machine.
To be fair, to be fair, it mostly is due to me because I actually finished up the last of the cutscenes subtitles last night, I think.
Yeah.
It was last night because I had to edit it. I finished it Wednesday, and then Thursday I had to edit something that I messed up with, and and he was like, you know what, F it, and just released it. It was funny because like I was looking at the chat and it's like he posted a link. I was like, wait, what? So I had to quickly write this article up it was really funny.
So this is the secret project that you had a hand in?
Yeah, this is I did the cutscenes and the translation. Sorry, not the translation. Just the cutscenes. I did the cutscene subtitles.
Nice.
I didn't do any translation work. I'm not taking credit for that. I don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that guy.
I just did the subtitle translation. Natsumi, and I think Danthrex helped out as well. And a lot of other people.
Burnt Ends here. I was basically we had the translation done in about a month, and then we were just waiting for the subtitles to be, and that was about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, forgot to mention Sinwin or Burnt Ends. Shouts to you too. There was a team behind this. It wasn't just Derek. But yeah, so shouts to you guys for bringing yet another amazing Dreamcast game to English speakers. I mean, like, you know, for them to actually be able to read it.
There's like 12 people in that chat room, so it's like hard to tell who worked on and who didn't. So
yeah,
hopefully I don't leave anybody's name out or anything. It's kind of,
you guys are
just like, wait, who's working what?
Yeah. But no, that's awesome. And that's excellent. So you can go download it now. He provided a link, correct? Yep. Download link right through his translation, his Twitter.
Yeah, and the game itself came out in January 2000, so it's been about 21 years, a little bit over that, since it dropped, and you know now we finally could play it in English after all these years. So for people that don't know the game, it's sort of like Space Harrier, or I mean more apropos is the Panorama Cotton that it was originally sort of like, which is also like Space Harrier, but same thing essentially. And he plays the ever popular Witch Cotton and her quest to either eat as many willow candies as possible or save the York country, whatever one you would go with. I don't know.
How do you personally like the whole 3D, you know, first person view or like behind the character view?
I like it, especially games like because I'm a big Star Fox fan, so
right.
I really like it. So I'm a big fan of it. I know some people are in the middle of it. I always had trouble playing with Space Harrier because it's always pretty weird to like Space Harrier and Panorama Cotton. It's hard to aim. And it's a bit laggy at times.
Right. You're always kind of aiming.
Maybe that's just me.
You're always kind of aiming your character's always kind of aiming in the middle, but like moving around the screen. And dodging items and stuff like that. It is a weird. Space Harrier made a lot more sense in the arcade using the stick, you know, that flight stick. On a controller, it's a little. There's a bit of a disconnect, but of course, you can use the mission stick for the Sega Ages version on the Saturn, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that does bring back that arcade feel. And then of course this, you know, as far as like I prefer the 2D Cotton games just because of the artwork. I think it's much more lush but you don't have to not like Rainbow Cotton just because you like the 2D stuff more. It's still a great game, and I'm really excited about this translation. So yeah, it's one that
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, just give it a little bit more background. I worked with Derek previously on his translation projects for Taxi 2 and Sakura Wars Columns 2 subtitles. So and the subtitles to like all the cutscenes and stuff like that. And then he approached me for Rainbow Cotton, a system with the subtitles. And it was honestly the most subtitles most cutscenes I had to subtitle because there was like several of them. They're pretty long ones, especially the ending ones and the opening ones.
Exactly.
And probably the most dialogue. So Taxi 2 was pretty long, but this one felt a lot longer. But it was really worth all the effort I put into it because I'm a mega fan of Cotton, and it was pretty cool to be able to have my name associated with this project in some capacity because I'm a big Cotton fan. So it sort of is a full circle completion of love for the series of the game.
Cool.
Because I absolutely enjoy Cotton. It's good, and I had a picture of of me looking at this playing on a CRT I sent to Derek, and it was it was unreal, to be honest with you, seeing it run on an actual CRT for the Dreamcast.
Well, kudos for being a part of that, and Derek and Burnt Ends and whoever else is on this project that I don't. Danbo, actually, okay. and Blastermania. Shouts to you guys for making this happen.
Yes,
Danbo,
you guys are amazing.
That's actually Danthrax, right? It's just that's just his like
Danthrax,
Twitter handle. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Huge
Also,
shouts for
Danthrax
that.
put out Danthrax put out a fun thing. We got 2 fan translation of Cotton games out this year. Cotton 2 on Saturn earlier than Rainbow Cotton. So in total, we're getting, because we got the 2 fan translations, we got the Cotton reboot, the Saturn the Saturn tribute, and now we're getting the Cotton rock and roll at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So in total, we're getting 5 Cotton games in 1 year. That is insane.
Yeah.
Like
and
that
no
is
Sonic.
literally insanity. Yeah, Sonic getting 1, we getting 5.
Yeah. It's crazy. I guess when it rains, it pours. But before we end, let's see how much time we have. 15 minutes. Before I have to jet, I wanted to talk about. Nick did mention that he hoped we could put an article out. I didn't have time to put it up, but I did at least want to talk about it. Right after we got done last week, we had Nova's interview, and then we did the Death Mask stream. I want to say either that day or the next day. We had a Burning Rangers build that came out. This was like a beta build that came out. And do you want to talk about that at all? Were you able to test it out?
I had no idea. I was hoping we'd save that for next week so I can actually talk about that a little bit more and play it.
You know what? Then we will save that for next week. If Pat actually if you're gonna do like an actual article, then I'll just wait. We'll save it.
Yeah, I did have an update on the FPGA core. If you want to go to that real quick.
Oh yeah, sure. That's right. Derek, I did see Derek mentioned that there was more progress made like right after we got done talking about this. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, since the last update, it's all the way at the bottom. Apparently, well, not apparently, the guy that's working on SRG or whatever his name is, basically actually had video of the demo playing Bug on the Saturn. So it's gonna be kind of loud, so just keep it muted. The music's kind of wonky, but like, I mean, it's actually running. I mean, not well. It looks. I mean, it's running at a good frame rate, but there's a lot of graphical issues on it, but it's actually running on the actual Mr. Hardware, and it's just insane to sort of see that. And I thought it was kind of really appropriate with us talking to Dave Warhol about it, so it's kind of funny he picked Bug as his first game. But yeah, as you see, it's running fairly decently.
Bug was one of those games.
Good signs.
We learned so Bug was one of those games that only used one CPU. They like basically turned off the second one, and it was all done in assembly, their own little engine that they put together, and all assembly, no C. I think it was Bug 2 that they ended up moving to C. But yeah, this one was so early on that they were just basically working off of the hardware and documentation, and so yeah. Kind of crazy, but yeah, so that's cool that they started with like a launch game. And again, like you said, it's not perfect. There's some definite like graphical glitches going on in the background there. I mean, but it works like you said, and it's
pretty stable frame rate too.
It's really just a matter of time, right? Before they get that compatibility up to like close to 100%. Hopefully, eventually 100%, and then you've got basically perfect Saturn core preserved, so people can don't go check your Saturns or anything like that, but don't get sad when entropy takes over and they eventually die because they will.
All I know is if this ever gets released and it's almost 100% or close to it, I honestly think the Mister would be my go-to for playing games on it now for Saturn stuff.
And then of course with the Mister's hardware, the built-in, you got the Ethernet port, you got all this extra potential for like maybe doing some more online stuff, with it.
Doing Tyson stuff. It's insane.
Exactly.
It's like
there's a lot of stuff that you can get working.
It'll be a new SHIRO dimension once that drops, because it's like it's just gonna be completely insane, and it will make playing Saturn like that much easier now.
Oh man, I don't know why, but this stream has like a lot of dropped frames, and my internet is looking like yellow or red right now in OBS.
It's looking pretty good to me.
Is it okay? I don't know. You know what? I actually went ahead and screwed with my QoS settings in my router to favor that VoIP adapter, and I wonder if that thing is like hogging. I mean, it's not enabled right now, so I would think that it wouldn't matter. But I'm never seeing yellow or red on these streams. It's always green, so I don't know. Might have to take a look.
Good to me though. Like
Okay,
it's not
good.
dropping for me.
Good. I don't know, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, it's all. Sometimes it's really picky, and maybe it's even false positives.
Yeah, it also could just be that it's very hot. So maybe my machine is like working overdrive. But let me stop this YouTube video and see if that changes anything. No.
Yeah, I like the comment. Just having an easy HDMI solution for Saturn would be huge, and I completely agree.
That's
like,
true too. Yeah.
And I didn't even think about that. Like, I mean, with Saturn, it's just gonna be plug and play, just direct HDMI to a capture card, and you're good to go. I mean, like it'll change. Like I said, it'll change the dimension.
Most of the Saturn games depend on CRT effects, right? Like the mesh effect looks a lot different on CRT than HDMI.
This is true.
I suppose so, but I mean, it's still cooler to be able to get that ability, and you can like for the Mister, you can get a CRT adapter for it, so you can hook it up via RGB or component.
I mean, it's really just different strokes. Like I know there's some people who will continue to recap their Saturns and fix them. And I mean, it's like an old car. If you treat it well enough, you can keep it running for forever, basically. I mean, you just have to keep fixing it. But I mean, it's a machine. It'll, so I mean, it's like, it's conceivable that, folks can keep their Saturns running for another 25 years or more. But it's definitely good that we have multiple options, and that not all those options are just limited to, emulation. Because as good as emulation can be, it's nice to know that there's something that's going to be more accurate, at least in terms of preservation. Yeah. But
in all honesty, I think I'm gonna have to get another Mister just to have that set up in my other room.
Yeah. So based on that footage you guys just showed, it looks like they're a lot further along on VDP1 than VDP2, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. What did you say? You actually had numbers. And
yeah, I think I remember
it's in towards the bottom of the article.
Yeah, it was like VDP1 was at 80%. VDP2 was actually 90. I didn't need to click on that.
That VDP1 percentage looks like that's backwards, because I don't see any problems with their meshing stuff unless they're not doing anything that's besides the absolute bare fundamental display, but. All the mesh stuff and the sprite stuff looked fine, and obviously the background as a VDP2 plane looks awful. So it seems like those numbers would be completely different, but I guess they're not.
It could just be implementation, because he could write it, but it doesn't mean it's going to be working 100%.
Right.
All right.
So that 90% could be it's written completely, but it's still not functioning the way I need it to be.
Right.
That could be what it means.
Well, anyway, good news. Good to see. I mean, we knew they were working on it. I just didn't know they were that far along. And for them to be that far along on Saturn, I mean, that bodes well for other 32-bit like PlayStation, maybe even Nintendo 64. Although that Silicon Graphics chip is going to be a tough nut to crack.
That's gonna be stretching. They barely can get emulation working on the PC.
I know. Yeah, it's a weird one. It definitely is a weird one. So. Very proprietary tools to make the games and proprietary hardware. So it'll be interesting. But I mean, I'm sure time. It's all a matter of time. We just might be waiting another decade.
Exactly. So I'm definitely happy we're getting Saturn relatively soon, because usually if the cores are to that quality, that means they're usually coming out like in the next few months or so, or maybe within the year.
I bet we'll have an FPGA Dreamcast before we have an N64.
More than likely. Actually, the thing is that I think I said in the last show that people speculate that the best they could do is PS1, and Saturn would not be feasible. But now we're like seeing that that's not the case, and that we could probably go a lot further. So maybe we could get Dreamcast. Maybe it would be possible. I don't want to say never,
So like the Dreamcast, besides the SH4, I thought was more or less just like a Windows 95 kind of computer. Like, didn't ATI make the graphics card for that thing? I don't recall.
It was actually no. The GameCube was ATI. The Dreamcast was VR Logic, I think.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
So it is.
yeah, so it's a proprietary thing, but it's
Yeah, so like it was running Windows CE. I couldn't imagine that the hardware was so incredibly different from standard x86 architecture.
no, not at all. I would imagine not. It was an SH4, right? The process was like an SH4, but those are well-known, well-documented chips. I'm pretty sure that like I said, it's a much less proprietary than what Silicon Graphics had going. So, and it probably has better documentation just because by that time they were keeping better documentation probably. But again, that's speculation on my part. But it stands to reason. But then again, a decade ago, honestly, like a decade ago would have been 2011. Were we really talking about FPGA back in 2011? And like, did you even have the accessibility of these like really powerful FPGAs back? No. Like, I mean, folks in science did, but they weren't using them for this kind of application, And okay, like over a decade. So a decade from now, I'm pretty sure that the FPGAs will have available to us will be like, twice or three times more powerful and capable of doing all sorts of stuff. So it's really just a matter of time. We just, what we're into won't be popular by then. It'll be a whole new,
We never know.
Retro will be PS3, But
It already is.
It already is technically. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, some people are already making the joke like, "Is my PS4 retro?" I just want to slap them.
It's kind of funny because like I was talking to somebody online and they were saying, "Yeah, my first console was the Wii. Smash Brothers Brawl was the first thing," and I was like, "Oh no!"
I know, right?
No, that's not happening, right?
Yeah, it's what it is, man. We're getting older.
What if your first console was an iPhone and your first game was Flappy Birds? Because that generation is now.
Oh God, yeah.
Like literally 20-year-olds said their first console is the Wii. That is insane to me. And if you think about the time difference between the Wii and now is like almost the same gap between the 90s, like in the NES to the Wii.
Right.
Which is an insane thing to think about.
Well,
just recall that the Wii might as well have been a PS2 with motion controls for the library that it had.
Yeah.
And you remember how long ago the PS2 was? We're at the PS5, so
I mean, we're old enough to remember the dot-com boom. We remember the days before the internet and after the internet. And I imagine it's no different than pining over people who grew up during the space race and saw that like firsthand. Or like I used to wish that I could go back to Woodstock, and I was just like, I wish I was born like a couple decades earlier so I could have gone to Woodstock. The
I
real
would just
Woodstock.
see Janis Joplin and Jimmy and just leave.
Is that right? That's fine.
I don't
That's
know.
fair.
There's anyone
That's fair.
else I cared
Santana
about.
was great.
That's all I wanna
Santana
see.
was great at Woodstock.
I
Anyway.
could see Santana like at any venue. I can
No,
go,
but
like,
this was
he's playing
Santana
all
when
the
he was
time.
good. This was when he was good.
Nah,
sorry.
I can see him all the time. It's not a big deal.
But
He ain't going
okay.
nowhere.
But to be fair, anyway, I'm just saying, so I mean, Derek, Stop Skeletons from Fighting posts up a video about like the N gauge, and you get like a bunch of young kids like, what the hell is the N gauge? What the hell is side talking?
It's crazy.
Like, and I'm just like, seriously. Well, I'm just like, it sucks to be you because we grew up during the most exciting time in video games, if you ask me. Now it's all just homogenized. Yes, the PS5 is excellent. Yes, Microsoft Flight Simulator looks better than it ever did. But honestly, like, we grew up during the biggest seismic shift in video games when like just I don't know, everything was game. It was like up in the air, and anyone had the opportunity to succeed and fail. And
the thing is that I think that era is now with the indie game stuff, because we have so many indie games that are just like back then, like all these great games.
Well, that's the
like
thing is
Hollow
it's not the hardware war anymore. It's more the software. Is what it really is down to. Yeah, because platforms just don't matter anymore.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that RPGs in general on computer and console have been in like a constant decline since maybe like 1994 or something.
Agreed. Yeah, sadly. I mean, because I love RPGs, but then again, I don't have time to play them these days, so I guess I'm like complaining for no reason. But anyway,
Fair enough.
Yeah, we got a wrap on this thing, and Pat's got a bulk slash stream that he has to do, and we've got any chance we have the voice actor joining us today, you guys? I don't know, they might not be unmuted, but
I can't see the chat right now.
okay, all right.
What's up, guys? Greg here.
What's up, Greg?
So Rachel is the voice actress for this navigator. She could not join us today. She said she'd check the archive afterward. So yeah, unfortunately, no.
No worries, but
No
you got
worries.
enough of you guys you can talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna make a note. It's gonna look like the stream ended, but it's not. I'm gonna I'm gonna start it on my end. So the stream will technically restart, but
Yeah.
don't leave.
Don't leave.
Dave will just end his stream.
I'm gonna drop it, and then Pat's gonna pick it back up with this just same key, so it'll just continue for you guys. Is
so
how we're gonna
just
do
give
it.
me a bit. I'm gonna put on the. I'll start it and I'll put on the waiting thing, and then I'll start the system up and hope it'll all be good. But knowing our luck, it's gonna be horrendous. It'll not work at the first try. So
I certainly hope
bear
not.
with us.
But before
Don't
we leave,
don't go anywhere.
let's remind folks about some stuff. So
Sounds
please consider supporting us on Patreon if you're interested in the Saturn community, if you're interested in what we're doing, and you would like to support us with any amount. We don't care. We would appreciate it, no matter what it is. Also, please, sorry about my mic there. Please consider buying some of our merch. That would help us to host the podcast and the website. And then also, if you guys want to play head-to-head Netlink with us, consider buying a VoIP adapter and a Netlink modem, either an X-band or a US Netlink, and get your butt over into the SHIRO Discord under the the Netlink X-band channel, and we'll add you to our little directory, and hopefully we can do some head-to-head matchups. I figure if we have enough people on that thing, then anytime somebody raises their hand and says, "Hey, I'm available for a match," there'll be somebody that can match up with them. You know, if we get enough people.
I kind of want to do an event, so maybe a thing like Thursday we stream and play online.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll figure that out. I won't make promises. I need to get my Netlink set up first, but then once I do that, I'll make promises.
Okay.
All right.
But
yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, like I said, check us out on Patreon. Like, subscribe, comment on our videos, ring the bell or do some bell things. I don't know. And yeah, check out our podcast and of course our website, and join our Discord. And you can be in the live chat for the game stream. And
Yeah,
if
and
you
also-
back us on Patreon, you can talk on it.
And also, if you can't do any of that stuff, then no, I'm just kidding. If you can't do any of that stuff, at the very least, just share with friends or with family or whatever. I figure word of mouth is also worth something. So we can help grow this community just by letting more people know that it exists, and that yeah, there's actually some Saturn fans out there that want to talk and play Saturn, and that it's an opening and welcoming community where no one is judged. So yeah, just come and be involved. Get involved. And that's
Sounds
it.
good. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember,
Until next
you
time.
must play the Sega Saturn.
Play Sega Saturn. Out.
Peace. Yeah. Yep, sorry about that. For some reason it thought it needed to be right in front of my face and just disable that. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you can hear. You guys able to hear me all right? Good. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I knew this would not be a sure without some technical mishaps, but that's half the fun about it, right, guys? Half the fun. But yeah, welcome to the gameplay section of the stream. This is Patrick as usual, and today we're going to be playing some of the new fan translation for Bulk Slash. Okay, I guess this decided to crash too. All right. I guess we're going with the glitch today. Thing has decided to glitch today, guys. I don't know why, but like I said, this is half the fun of the stream, just everything breaking. Or of course. Hopefully it didn't do the thing where it's like crashing the entire. Okay, guess the SD card is now not. Fun stuff. Let's hope. Okay, there we go. Finally, we got that working. Sometimes it glitches so hard the SD card just removes itself from the device. I don't know why it does that. I think it doesn't like me. That's my theory. That was pretty funny though, where it just glitched through the entire thing. But hey, devs, check that out. Righty, so the Bulk Slash, we're gonna play. I guess now back to it. I'm gonna restart it like nothing happened. So welcome to the gameplay stream section of the SHIRO show. This is Patrick. This time we're gonna do it my way. Did it my way. But yeah, we're going to cover this game, and we're gonna do Bulk Slash, the Naira patch. So, do you want to do a little introduction to this, guys? Tell us a little bit about it.
She busts your chops. She's got more of a brusque tone to her VO than most of the other navigators. And she's played by Rachel, also known as Rachel Lee. I'm gonna put her Twitter in the chat. It's at Rachel VO. And she did a fantastic job. It was one of those auditions where it just clicked. You know, we felt like, without even having the voice and the gameplay together, it felt like we were like you couldn't help but picture the character when you heard her audition. Just a consummate professional about the whole thing. She had a great setup and just like knew the drill right off the bat. She actually has a couple credits to her name. for upcoming games that are on Steam. You can check them out on Steam already. They're not out yet, it looks like. But one is Kraken Academy, and the other is Peachleaf Valley. And I'll put links to those in the chat too. But that's the basic gist of the Naira Savage. Take it.
Sounds good. Yep. Yeah, but we have several of the devs in here talking about the game, and it's great to have you on and sort of talk about this. Hopefully, I think I might have a desktop audio issue, so like I said, I think it should be good now. I said sorry about that, guys. It's a little bit messy on the first try, but next week I promise will be good. As well, this is gonna get better now. It's 100% good now. So, but anyways, yeah, welcome to the stream. Let's go play some Naira then. So I'm really excited to play it. I really wish the voice actress was on here, but apparently she's a little bit busy today. So maybe we'll get her on sometime else, like for like a party or something like that.
Real quick, you might want to boost the sound on your Saturn because it sounds kind of quiet on the stream.
Sounds good. I rest a little bit more. Hopefully that's good. But yeah, let's do some Naira then.
This is all the more reason to try and do some kind of launch day extravaganza where we get all of the actors if possible.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Naira's 22 and she's already done more in her life than I have.
Same. We all can't be as badass, unfortunately.
Well, they're all unreasonably young.
Julio, I remember my
to be commanding officers in the military.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same in the Atelier series where you're like mixing potions and you're like 15 and your superior, your hardened superior is like 19 and really old.
Yeah, there's something to be said for having a boring life.
Yeah,
I'm still shocked that go ahead, Pat.
I was gonna say she's probably seen more people dead than we have in our entire lifetime. So, I mean, it's a trade-off. I mean, I wouldn't want to see dead bodies. So at least that's me. My view.
So,
sorry, that's a bit awkward.
Do we know? So wait. You should have her from the get-go, right? Oh yeah, okay. She's
Yeah.
Sorry.
So good.
Stream's a little behind on my end.
Yeah, it's been wonky for everybody today, but yeah, I'm already in the mission. I think I killed 2 of those generators in the first mission. So we're just tanking through it. Oh.
Yeah, by the time, like, after a while, this mission becomes super fast. I think I can clear this mission in about a minute. Just because, I mean, we've played it so many times for testing this year. I think I've probably played this mission alone like 40 times at least.
Understandable.
But
every testing session becomes a speedrunning session because like we did so much and we just want to get through it and listen to as many lines as we can to make sure everything works and make sure we can play through it from beginning to end. You know, we do that with every patch that we deliver to you guys actually.
although it's kind of it's like a speed run except because you have to like sit there and listen to all the idle lines, you know, like because if you don't press any button for a few seconds, she'll say, and the navigators will say different lines. But yeah, it's a lot of repetition. We've played a whole lot of bulk slash this year.
I could imagine. I mean, 40 times, dang.
They're cheating on the skybox. It's looping. I'm upset.
Uh-oh. Call out from a Saturn dev.
I put so much effort in having a nice skybox, and they're just cheating and repeating like it's like 10 times the same skybox.
Gotcha. Also, people said the Discord is a little bit low. If it's a little bit better now, let me know. I raised it up a little bit more. So hopefully it's all good now.
Pat, you gotta play better than Dave.
Oh no, I'm doing much better. I didn't get hit once during this. Watch me get destroyed by the boss because I just keep messing up. Well, I already messed up once. I went to the robot form when I was trying to shoot. I keep forgetting that. It doesn't matter how many times I play it, I will always accidentally do that. I'm just the big dumb.
No, that happens also to me.
Yeah, it's like, oh dang it, I meant to shoot. I don't want to. Yeah, we're doing good so far. I mean, I'm probably gonna jinx it saying that, but hey, let's roll the dice, man. There's nothing lost, nothing gained.
And pre-rendered sprites are awesome. You can see it right here.
Exactly.
Anybody that says different doesn't know what he's talking about.
I do think that this game is an exceptional example of that, though, where it looks really good. I feel like there are a lot of games on the Saturn where it didn't look so good, or it didn't meld with the environments that well, like stuff like Skeleton Warriors.
Skeleton Warriors!
Or Batman Forever. But yeah, I would say this is maybe the best example I've seen.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Yeah, it's
Animation
beautiful.
Sorry.
I was saying it's beautiful. Go ahead, sorry about that.
No, I was saying the same.
Oh. We read each other's minds. I'm down.
So
yeah.
I'm trying to think of talking points for Naira. I think she was probably one of the more straightforward characters to translate. I use Naira a lot. I gravitate toward Naira and Cologne, who we haven't shown yet. But I don't know. She feels like a character that you've seen before, I guess. And Dan also had some great input with military lingo. Just little throwaway slang terms that we threw into the script.
Yeah, so
she calls him a plebe. Yeah, go ahead.
When you do something she thinks is stupid, or you're getting beat up a lot in the game, then she will shout at you, "You plebe." Which
yeah,
is,
I think that's really
plebeian.
funny.
Yeah, and like you were telling me over Discord chat the other day, Pat, that it really makes you feel bad. And
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry for sucking, calm down.
right, yeah, she's really feels like she's really berating you, and I think that's kind of a success of the localization. If we are actually listening to emotion like shame for doing bad in the game, and what the voice actor says makes you feel bad, then I think we're doing a good job there.
For real.
I feel like that was really valuable input too. I've never heard that term in that context. I know plebe to mean like a Philistine,
Oedipus Rex sort of thing.
I'd only ever heard it in context with the Roman Empire.
Like what you would call the common person. It's like someone who thinks of themselves as like a social elite would call a common person. But I get the sense that this is like a military specific usage. And also, what was the other thing? It was you were telling us about the difference between a bogey and a.
Yes.
I'm going
in
blank.
military parlance, a bogey is an unidentified target. You don't know what its disposition is yet. You don't know if it's friend or foe. And once you have determined that something is an enemy, then you would call it a bandit. You call it a bandit. So
Right.
people who don't really realize that, they'll just kind of casually say, "Oh, call something a bogey. Bogey's inbound," or whatever. But if you already know it's an enemy, you're not going to call it a bogey. You'll call it bandit. So since we figure Naira is an experienced member of the military, so she's going to know that. So when the boss comes, she's going to say that a bandit is approaching.
I do appreciate that. I do like how it adds to her personality, though, the whole military hard, the hard military, military's life sort of thing. I know in real life that you meet people like that too. Like I know my uncle is ex-military and he uses all that sort of lingo as well, and sort of uses military lingo.
My
even
dad
as a
was
civvy.
20 years in the Air Force. I never learned any of this. But
Need to ask him some questions.
yeah, Dad, you know about bandits? But
Just like consulting just the person that's like in the military to some random guy. Like military consultant.
My grandfather was a pilot in Vietnam. I should have asked him.
Oh, nice.
You know about bogeys. Yeah, but notably Leone, who we showed on the last one, she does say bogey, and that's based on the Japanese dialogue. She says like unverified object, basically. So an unidentified object, and so that's like it's sort of a subtle way of illustrating a difference between Leone's character and Naira's. I think that they are pretty good foils. Yeah, and she's like way more like confident and tough, and Leone is still kind of like reserved and nervous. And they make pretty good foils for each other because they're both military. And then Cologne is the third military navigator you get. We'll talk about her at a later date, but sort of the same thing. They're like all the military ones. I felt like were really interesting foils for each other, so it was fun to like look at it that way when translating them. The other thing is. So Naira calls you corporal a lot, and that took a lot of. There was a lot of back and forth about what to do about ranks in this game. There's a few moments where they'll state a rank, and our research yielded that this it seems like the ranks used in this game are like sort of a hodgepodge of terminology from the modern Japanese self-defense force and the imperial era Japanese military.
Interesting.
So we had to kind of there were a couple spots where we had to kind of approximate, but I think in the end
we just had to make judgment calls.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody just, I guess, forgives us, I guess, for kind of any liberties we sort of had to take with that, because there really weren't any exact, ranks that we had to go off of, since they did kind of mix modern and the imperial arcade.
Yeah, because it's a hierarchy that doesn't actually exist, so we kind of had to, but I think we did fine.
For real. Yeah, and I'm definitely...
Choose a stage, Corporal.
It's really cool, though. I really like that insight on that. Like, it's like a hodgepodge of it, and it's kind of like really cool, at least in my opinion.
I how all the
Those
girls.
fun little quirks that comes out when you really like look at a thing under a magnifying glass. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Like this is this sign in the city is based on a now defunct TV show. Just like little things like that.
It's like wait, they named Saitama after the area of Saitama.
Straight ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I might mess up. I can't remember like exactly who I need to shoot down, so I'm just gonna shoot everything in sight.
So okay, basically
You just follow the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically stick in the general vicinity of the ship, and anytime you see a gun turret, shoot the gun turret.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shoot the big
'Cause
gray
those are the
ones that look
things
like they
that-
belong on the Death Star, and shoot the little floating
those
green ones.
That works.
Yeah. Another thing that I've noticed from playing this level a million times is it seems like if you keep,
Well, I'll be damned.
if you stay near the royal ship that you're defending there, if you stay in the vicinity and it doesn't like disappear from view, the polygons get unloaded, it'll stay pretty safe as long as you're still blowing up those green turrets and whatnot.
On the right.
Yeah.
But when it gets unloaded, you've like flown too far away, its shields start dropping pretty quickly. So I think there must be something in the code where they're like, okay, you've abandoned the ship you're supposed to be defending, so we'll just have it start getting lit up.
And it just like
So-
starts exploding all over the place.
Yeah, so if you just stay near it, like you're gonna beat this level pretty easily.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot better at the game than when I first started playing it, and I had issues with this mission. But yeah, I have no idea what I was talking about. This mission's a lot easier now. I know how to, and the controls I set to the B controls, and it's been much better, at least in my opinion, with the shoulder strafe.
Well, I'll be damned.
Like maybe I don't know if that's just me, but it feels a lot easier,
it works better, then that's good.
Yeah.
This is definitely a game that demands practice to get good at.
Yeah.
Just like a shmup.
Exactly, and it's really good. I really enjoy the game, and it's really grown on me to I don't really like it. To, oh man, this game's a lot of fun.
Really, you didn't like it at first?
Well, this is like years ago when I first started playing it for the show, and everyone's like hyping it up to me. I was like, I don't really care for it that much. But then when this translation started coming out, and I got more into it, and I was like, oh man, this is a ton of fun. I really appreciate it more and more. You know?
I think that, I mean, that's great to hear. That's hopefully what will happen with this localization is it will help the game appeal to more people. But I do think, even though the game is totally playable without the translation, it like that. The VO is such a big part of the charm and like the base pitch of what the game is. It's like the point of the game is like you're interacting with these appealing characters. So when you lose that, like the game mechanics themselves, I think like they're kind of cool, but I could see it sort of feeling kind of lukewarm nowadays, just where there's so many options, and like the game, it is compared to a shmup, like it's certainly not as hard as a shmup.
For real, yeah.
So if you're like an action game fan, it might come up a little like simplistic for you. Like it's a pretty easy. Like you'll probably die a few times, but it's not that demanding. But I do think this is a game it's sort of more than the sum of its parts, or rather, there's like it's the appeal comes from how they layer all these different elements to create something that's uniquely charming.
Exactly, and I think they did a really great job with this game. And like now that I know all the controls and I'm feeling like I'm getting everything down, it feels really simple to play, and it's not as hard as I used to be. But to be fair, I played it like 8 or 9 times at this point. So, but as you can see, I'm breezing through most of the game, and I totally didn't put it on easy either. So that definitely didn't happen.
There's no shame in that. I play it on easy all the time. There's nothing wrong with it.
I still die in the final boss every time. I've never beaten this game.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Just don't tell that to Dave. That this game is too easy.
Well, this is the moment of truth right now. This is stage 4.
Yeah,
this is one David always struggling.
Dave doesn't know the strategy of running like a wimp. Like that is the strategy of this level. Is running.
Yeah, that really is.
Like a wimp.
That is kind of it. Like just make a beeline for the spots where you put the bombs. Like this, if you do that, you can. This is the fastest mission because it's
as long as you don't eat yourself into the cliff like I just did.
And for people that are unfamiliar with this game, this is the level where you get Naira. You can actually find her on one of the ships in the fleet that you're trying to attack, strangely enough.
I guess she was trying to sneak aboard.
Sneak aboard the ship.
The other thing is, you're in space, so I think there's an instinct to like, fly up and down because you're just free roaming. But basically everything you need to do in the stage takes place on the like at the altitude that you start at, more or less. I feel like Dave probably is shooting himself in the foot a little by like trying to go up and down too much.
Yeah, as you see with me, I'm literally just side strafing this and just waiting for her to tell me where to go. So I'm literally just side strafing everything, and then like and like maybe I stay below there, and then I was like, okay, there it is. Oh wait, no, this is the first bomb. Yeah, I may whiff this one, but no, never mind, I got it. There we go.
There's one on the ship that's very well guarded, and one strategy is to clear out the turrets there first before you even have the bomb.
Yeah.
What I like doing is just pressing extra Y, and it'll pull it up on the map.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was only for the boss, but they actually do it in this one.
Yeah, they always show the target whenever you ask for the.
She tells you where to go. Okay,
Yeah, they don't point the camera, but they give you the arrow.
Yeah, see the radar kind of puts that blue X. It's almost like the radar zooms out for a couple seconds to show like the whole map. And that's really useful for the first stage, actually, because it kind of shows where all of the targets are that you're supposed to hit all over the city.
Yeah, I'm not trying to call Dave as a bad gamer or anything, but I just perfect that, so... that's neither here nor there if I'm calling him out, so...
What I also like is like this mixture of pre-rendered sprites and mesh with like the missiles are mesh and the sprite is pre-rendered. And I played with a friend who's not very tech savvy, and I played like 2 Saturn soccer games with him. Like the players were meshes and the other one was sprites, and I was trying to explain it to him. And he didn't even see any difference. He just thought, oh, the sprites are meshes too. No. The Saturn can't display meshes on that level, but yeah, to normal people it just looks exactly the same.
I do think the one visual...
Go ahead.
I was just saying that I think the one visual blemish on this game is how like the thruster of the jet form is a mesh transparency. It's just really distracting at this point. It's like the mech itself is like a pre-rendered sprite, I think, and yet they use this weird-looking transparency. I know it was meant for CRTs, but it just, I don't know.
Yeah, when you play with composite, it looks all right. I feel like it doesn't look. I don't know. I guess it's just.
Yeah, for me, it's like once I saw it, I can't unsee it.
So what are you talking about exactly?
The thruster on your ship.
Oh.
Like the little... Yeah, that's a mesh effect.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, shit.
No, you won't unsee it.
Thanks.
It's never really bothered me.
It's not that mesh transparency are part of the Saturn. The waterfalls and Panzer Saga look great even on RGB, and like the boxes for the bombs, like with that rainbow gradient, they look awesome.
Yeah, like I think it's more just because it's literally in the center of the screen, and that's just what bothers me about it. Not that mesh transparencies by themselves are bad.
Yeah, I mean, like I pointed out a couple weeks ago, there's always true transparency on screen with the speed meter and the shields. When they deplete, there's actual transparency going on with those meters.
You just don't understand why they did this. Like, why didn't they just bake it into the sprite?
That is a good question.
Yeah, like they do with your muzzle flat and like your muzzle flare on your guns.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of interesting that they didn't just do the same thing.
Yeah, so fun fact, I keep messing up the controls on this because they don't keep the strafe when you go into the walker mode, it's left and right, which actually is really annoying that they switch that up. Like, they don't keep that strafe. I think that's your
particular control scheme that changes that. The Type B reverses them with robot or plane, and I think Type A and C keep it consistent between the two.
Oh, dang it. Dang it.
Yeah, I did a little Twitter poll a while ago to see what control scheme people like the least, and that was the one.
What one? D?
I think that makes sense.
I found out that there's a secret hidden 4th control scheme in the game that we can just re-enable and overwrite to enable twin stick controls.
You guys should default the best one, which is going to be C.
Knight of Dragon.
Yeah,
it's in the game now.
This patch already supports twin stick. So
speaking of which, I'm actually getting one in the mail hopefully soon. So, you know what?
Nice.
Next stream maybe we do this. We could do twin stick support. Play twin stick, guys.
Oh, please, by all means. Yeah.
You guys want that?
We need input on just how well the controls work.
How does the twin stick support?
So here are the ones I know of.
In a way.
Oh, that's true. It registers as just a Saturn pad, so but like the button layout will be all janky. So here are the ones that I know of that officially supported it. Virtual On, which was like what it was made for. there are there are 3 Gundam side story games. It was a trilogy. Each of them is very short, so together they form about 1 game's worth of content. The second and third one had optimized control schemes for the twin stick, and they're super fun. For my money, those are the best twin stick games on the Saturn. And then Gun Griffin 2.
Lag.
And I believe that's it. Except now Bulk Slash.
Exactly. The fans are changing the game. The fans are changing the way we play games now, guys.
No, it's not the author's intent.
It reminds me of that higher
like
fans thing.
I feel like that gets a pass because Twin Stick already, like, we're basically just improving something that was already supported. You know what I mean? Like, you can plug a Twin Stick in and play it.
You can't even argue author's intent because they were probably on a tight schedule and their asses were on fire from the publishers, so...
They should probably not put their asses on fire. At least that's my opinion.
Was the Twin Stick out by this point?
Yeah, because this game came out July 1997, so the Twin Stick had been out for about a year.
I thought it was 96. Oh, okay.
Bulk Slash? No, 97.
Okay.
So this month is the 24th anniversary.
God, these guard rays and the fog effects. This is like the epitome of PlayStation 1 and Saturn on 3DO style graphics.
Target's getting close.
Yeah, I like the god rays, the light rays that are kind of coming down from the top of the ceiling in this level. I think they're pretty cool. It's a neat little effect.
It's always, can I get the doctor to put that effect in for me, or is it gonna kill me?
I like how he's referred to as the doctor.
It's not in this part of the level, but in the earlier floors, the upper floors of this level, there, if you like kind of fly toward the ceiling, which I'm always flying, so I'm usually up there. There are like partially transparent light rays that are kind of streaming in from above. Like I guess it's light streaming into the facility, or maybe they're the lights going through grating. I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's something that's only in this level. It's kind of cool.
Am I going the right way with this? 4-6?
Yeah.
Okay,
the elevators are in front of you there.
I just want to make sure that I'm going the right way with this. That I'm not. Okay, there we go. Here's the boss.
I don't understand why they didn't. There's this graphical glitch where the door closes behind the.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think because the player ship is it's a sprite on BDP 2, and so it's just kind of always on top of everything, while all the BDP 1 polygons are being rendered underneath of it.
Exactly.
So, and the door is, I'm pretty sure it's a VDP 1 polygon. So that's probably why, and it was just too hard to, like, they didn't think it was worth it because you just see it for a split second. They didn't think it was worth it to come up with some kind of a hackneyed solution from being able to see the player through the door.
It's really noticeable. I just wouldn't have shut the door or just or dropped the sprite at the last second. Like, you can see the door closed.
Yeah. And
Oh, come on, really? 1 pixel of health left. Can you believe that? Oh no, he's dead. For a second I thought I was still not dead after that 1 pixel.
Yet.
Oh, there we go, Spider-Man. I know you're supposed to fight this in walker mode as an awesome fight, but I'm gonna be like a Darkside Phil fighting the boss with the sniper rifle to CQC. That's what I'm gonna do.
Maybe they tested the level shortly before they published, saw that error and said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna publish this."
No one's gonna notice.
No one's gonna notice in 30 years from now. Some German guy is going to be nitpicking about it on the internet.
That's funny, actually.
I mean, I've played this game like a billion times and I never noticed that.
Everyone's just ruining this game with meshes, doors that's not closing. It's like why do you guys gotta ruin it for everybody? Just keep it like cool.
I'm not ruining it. It has great effects. Did you just see those bouncing ball sprites? They're awesome. I really
There's so
love
much cool stuff to this game that when there's a couple flaws, they really stick out.
Exactly.
It's such a good game that the only thing we can do is nitpick because there's nothing major to complain about.
Exactly.
It's just homebrew talk. I had a lot of good things to say, like all these explosion effects and the way they use the bouncing ball sprites and the lasers, and they're mixing meshes with sprites.
Choose a stage, Corporal.
It's so well done in so many ways. It's like the best looking Saturn game I can think of.
I agree with that.
I noticed your miss leveled up there, so I'm not sure if you're level 2 or 3 now, but if you're 3
should be
now,
level
then
2. So
is she level 2? Then it probably won't change the dialogue too much. But
here are the main changes. Now when you get hit, she will say what hit you. I think some of her idle lines change, or she gets new ones. She gets additional ones.
Back it up.
And then her start at the beginning of the stage, she says something different.
Well, I'll be damned.
I do like her
Okay,
well,
just
I'll
talk
be
to
damned,
us.
she always says.
On the right.
Yeah.
Is this leveling up system for
Gotta get health.
the
Oh,
deepness?
damn it, I missed.
Is it for the deepness of? Is it like the level of your relationship with her, or?
yeah,
It's like a dating
Yeah,
sim
so-
almost. It's like Sakura
Yeah,
Wars.
it is. There are light dating sim elements. So secretly there are.
yeah. Each navigator levels up in different ways. They have different requirements, and they are dependent on your play style. So like, I don't remember what they are off the top of my head for each one, but like one of them is if you stay in flight mode more than robot mode for a level, then she will level up. And if you stay in robot mode for a different girl, it's if you stay in robot mode more in flight mode, you level up. Another one, it's if you collect a certain number of the little like metal power-ups from blowing up crates and enemies and stuff around the level. If you do that a lot, then you level up, because I think that's Rupia's, because she's a thief, so she likes it when you steal metals and power-ups and stuff around the level. So yeah, if you do these different requirements, you'll level up the navigators, and then they will give you better navigation, more detailed navigation, and some new lines. So they're pretty cool.
Dude, this tank is just not dying. Am I shooting it right? Oh, there it is. It's
Yeah,
dead.
go for the head.
Gotcha.
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead, get it? Straight ahead. Also, sorry, what were you saying?
Target's getting close.
Nothing. Just go.
On the right.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was gonna say that there was a misses there, like a navigator, but we're not gonna pick her up. So,
Straight ahead.
rip that person.
That's Cologne Steiner.
Oh yeah, that's Cologne. Yeah, we're not picking her up. Forget her. Forget it. She's not that
Okay,
important.
I've got there's a Japanese website that says the level up conditions for each navigator. So, okay, so, and I think what this is so you can level up the navigators without meeting these requirements just by scoring points, but meeting these requirements accelerates how quickly they level up. So for Naira Savage, the requirement is to clear a stage with more than 7 minutes left on the timer. So she likes when you work fast.
Straight ahead.
And so you have like a miss score.
Energy wave.
I don't remember what the score you need to level them up, but
It's a hidden score. It's a hidden score. It doesn't show it to you in the game, but it actually is stored in the save files. I found it. For each navigator, it keeps a separate miss score.
So if you meet that condition, you get 750 like miss points, and if you don't, then however much time is left on the timer factors into your miss points.
And I'm guessing you need the highest level to unlock the swimsuit pick at the end of the level.
No, the pictures that you get are not dependent on the mist level. They're dependent on your total high score when you beat the game, beat a playthrough with a given navigator.
Oh, that's. I was never clear on what was going on there, to be honest. I knew it was just. I knew it was separate.
Score. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the mist score. The mist score is kept separately.
Did they ever give a name to this rival boss? This red version of the guard duel?
I think he does have one in the website, doesn't he?
Yeah, like, well...
Remember, they just call him the rival.
I don't actually know if he has a name, but unofficially we have our speculation because there's like a relationship chart of all these characters to each other that was on the original Japanese website. And we think that this red robot you're fighting that's pretty much similar to yours is your rival, someone who is listed as your rival. Yeah, we don't know what the person's face is. I think we've got his name on there, I just don't have it right in front of me.
Good look.
I commissioned some art of the guard duel fighting the red robot, so hopefully that'll turn out well.
Let's see.
Straight ahead.
Yeah, this guy's impossible to hit by the machine guns. I have to wait for my missiles to refuel to be able to hit him.
Here we go. The person's name is Mince Carvey. Chris dislikes him, and Mince Carvey sees Chris as his rival.
Is he related to Dana Carvey by any chance?
I don't know, maybe. He's colleagues with Chow Long Yang. Chow Long Yang.
Ah, of course, Chow Young.
Yeah.
That guy,
Chow
yeah,
Long
I know him.
Which Chris respects and considers a friend. And I have no idea who that person is. It doesn't really say on this crazy little chart. It's like they designed all these characters and all this this lore behind this game, and then they put almost none of it in the actual game. So that's going to like a translated version of the website out there when we get this patch out there, or maybe even a little before, because it has a lot of interesting story and lore and character descriptions that kind of add to it.
Gotta patch that into the game.
I don't know how we'd do that. That would be cool, but I don't know how we would do it.
Maybe separately we can get like the voice actor for Chris to just like narrate all this lore, almost like he's retelling his life before the war.
It's like the Wesker report. I don't know if you guys ever watched that.
Yeah.
You just make a huge wall of text like in the Star Wars, like the intro sequence.
Or hire the guy from Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Actually, I think he's in the hospital. Actually, I heard he's not doing too well, the narrator. So hopefully he does well soon. Also, oh, thank God I killed this guy. I was going to be so annoyed if I didn't kill him and I died at like 1 health. Like this controller right here, it would be chucked at the computer monitor. That was what's going to be happening if I lost that.
Well, there you go. There goes Mince. Mince blew up. Mince Carvey.
Rip Mince. He's a mincemeat now. Or they're mincemeat.
Pretty good.
Pat, you're a joy to watch playing.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So the other one's called Chow Young Long.
Ah, the classic Chow Young Long.
Chow Long Yang. Yeah. Like it's.
I'm thinking like mincemeat and like chow mein. I'm thinking like, yeah, were they having Chinese food one day and they said the name of that?
I'm more of a lo mein kind of guy, to be honest with you.
And it looks from the chart like their superior is named Cloud Wallace. That's not food,
God.
so I don't know. Hey, I think this is the first time we've seen the last level on the SHIRO show. That's cool. The room you're in right now is where you would get Kina.
Okay, how do I get into this thing? There's like a blue thing on this. Am I doing this right?
That's almost like the entry. That's almost like the entry of how you got into this base.
Oh no, that's doors usually closed actually. That's where you would pick up Kina.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know why it's open
there
right now.
Oh, there's a little hole in there. Okay. There we go.
No, I did not unlock. I didn't unlock Kina for him, so I don't know why that's open. But then she's not in there.
Maybe it's a glitch.
Well,
he was like a tease.
In theory, if you had a full unlock save file, it would be open and she would not be there.
So maybe
it's like a tease that like Kina escaped.
Oh yeah.
Well, after you get her, it's just an empty room.
Right. Yeah. If she's not able to be gotten yet, it's a closed door that says Kina in English on it. So I'm really confused why that's open. I mean, I normally just ignore it because I just don't care. And I'm playing on my save file. I have everything, so it's always empty for me anyway. But like Pat's playing on a save file that I hand modified to unlock certain people and not having the visual bonuses unlocked because I'm an ass like that. But
We still
I don't
love
know,
you.
There must be something I did about it that made that door be open. I don't know.
Blue Moon 95 had a good idea. A book/pilot disc with bonus lore.
I'm down.
I mean, that's basically what the translated website will put out is going to be like. Between that and the translated fold-out manual.
Yeah, and we had the idea to use the second track on the CD for some narration lore, but I'm not sure if we can patch design a patch to do that.
I think we can. I think we can just include, like a Red Book audio track using Night of Dragons Sega Saturn patcher, and just kind of pop it on there, and then it'll be something you just listen to in a CD player or from the multiplayer menu of the Saturn.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then we have to miss the warning track, yeah. So.
Am I going the
Oh,
opposite
yeah,
way?
isn't-
I have a feeling I'm going the opposite way.
Oh yeah, isn't there like a track where it like warns you like this is a Sega Saturn disc? So please put this in a Sega Saturn.
Yeah, often. There it is.
You should have me do the warning and just like do a Brooklyn accent. Hey, what are you doing, Tom? Get that out of your Saturn. Put it in, or get it out of your CD player. Put it in a Saturn. What are you doing? I think that'd be perfect.
Hire somebody with a Boston accent.
Hey, what are you doing, Tone? Get that out of the Saturn. We gotta take care of bodies down by the Jersey Shore. Also, I'm super hyped for Saints of Newark. I don't know if anybody else is,
I
but
think you gotta. I think you gotta fly up. Yeah, because some of these rooms there's like a corridor at the top of them, and you gotta fly up to it and take it.
oh man,
So
they're making
it's
this
not just walking
confusing.
around with a robot. Yeah, it's quite the labyrinth.
why are they doing this to me? Nice.
I think we
They
have
don't want
one
you to challenge.
What's the letter on the floor? Okay, C. Yeah, I think you just went backward.
Oh, oops.
So
So yeah, I'm in that room right now. Or the
think
two rooms on the
you-
top.
I
There should
think
be
you
on the
just went
top
back to the
section,
beginning
right?
level.
You're right. You're already.
I'm trying my best,
beginning room.
guys. I'm sorry.
You must look on the floor.
Yeah.
You mean look on the
there's
floor?
letters, so you just kind of make sure you're still progressing.
Is the the letters? It like goes E, F, H. So it's like the
yeah,
higher
like
the letters.
First room is like A. Yeah.
Oh.
So they kind of help.
Enemy contact.
Oh, I never noticed the letters. Wow.
G. Okay, so I'm not progressing. Let's go backwards. Don't
Yeah,
want to go
um,
27.
In the G room, is there? Can you fly up?
Yeah, in one of the rooms where like that giant rolling barrel is chasing after you, you can fly up one of them and it'll lead you to the end.
Right.
Okay, so I'm in the H room. That's the highest room, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, go back to G,
Okay.
and then look near the top of the room for a corridor.
Oh, I see it. Up here. And it goes
Our stream's
down.
a little behind you, so
Yeah, so
just
I have no idea what you're looking
Just
at.
pretend I just went to the corridor on the top of G. So I'm in F now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I went backwards. Is that backwards?
So wait, F. Okay, so go right when you get to F. And
Go
then
right, okay.
Go past the
Enemy
barrel.
contact. You plebe.
You should just call me a plebe again.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Alright.
you're
Don't
already.
take it far.
You're
And
already.
then look up again.
Yeah. Look up again.
Okay, I see it, yeah. Nope, don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die in this one. My health is low as hell. Unless I don't get hurt by the boss. It's gonna be messy.
Oh, you will.
yeah.
Sweet.
It's a Mega Man style boss rush, except
Oh,
these are
God.
original bosses.
Oh god. Rip me. Let's hope my circle strafe skills are killer, guys.
Yeah, did they ever name the like the boss mechs that you have to fight, like the giant butterfly and the
Unless there's something hidden in the code that we haven't seen. We
Oh
don't know of
boy,
any
my
names for those
favorite.
bosses.
I just blew up. I entered the room and blew up.
Wise decision.
I like how I just entered the room and just blew up instantaneously. It's like, you don't stand a chance, buddy. I'm just blowing your ship up. And look at the replay. Oh, yeah, I guess they hit me with something.
Choose your stage.
Naira's really disappointed.
I know. That's because I blew up.
And you didn't clear the level with 7 minutes to spare.
I didn't. I'm not getting the swimsuit edition.
Pretty tough to do with
Enemy shot.
this level.
Well, I'll
Hopefully now I know where to go. It's a little bit easier. It doesn't give you any direction though, so it's kind of hard. Gotta eat it.
enemy contact. Fire blaster.
We got the fire blaster, guys. Got this.
Yeah, and just kind of flying past the enemies is really the way to do it in this level.
Yeah, that's
because they can really tear you up.
yeah, that's how Aqua's does the speed run. He just manages to fly past everything.
Yep, shout out to Aqua. I believe he said he's the world record holder for speedrunning this game.
Jeez.
Friend Edobean.
Energy shot.
So we're in G. We're in G right now. So I think, or no, we're in D. We have to go to here. E or an F, and we'll go up an F, right? Or no, we go back to G, right?
I think, yeah, one of those you gotta go up.
Hold up. Not an F. You don't go up an F.
It's one of the
So go right from the this
Oh,
way.
here it is.
yeah, it's one of the rooms where the sorry.
Yeah, past the rolling barrel and then go up.
And then
Gotcha.
keep going straight,
Oh, yeah, I see it.
and then you should be golden.
Not in the room. There we go.
You gotta kill all these things.
All right, let's do this.
I fly past all those things right into the elevator.
That's what I just did.
Oh really? I love
Nice, there
like
you go.
plunging down on them with the missile salvo. It's very satisfying.
Flamethrower works great for this boss, by the way. Just
Yep.
jump up and down of them using the flamethrower. Kills them in seconds.
Well, that's cool. Guess what I got?
I think the worst thing about this boss rush is that you can't just use the X, Y, and Z buttons to focus the camera onto the bosses. I don't know why they did that. They just stopped doing that for this
Yeah,
for
why?
this boss rush.
Why doesn't it let me aim? I have the fire button held down. It's not letting me look up. Oh, there it is. There we go.
Laser. You plebe.
Yeah, it's easier to jump up and down so that it hits
Oh, yeah.
the enemy.
Yeah, the reality is, I don't think there's ever a practical
Actually, I'm gonna
reason
do.
to use the manual aim. It's always more practical to just jump or fly or something. What are we looking at?
What's the matter?
Oh,
Chat. You can now see the video of it. So this is gonna be live 1-to-1.
Oh,
oh.
Because I have like the Giga Blast internet, so I can like.
Cool.
Oh geez, no, don't attack me. Let me breathe, please, sir. Sir, please, sir.
So there's an easy way and a hard way to do this fight.
Am I doing it the hard way?
You're doing it the easy way, which is still
Okay.
kind of hard.
yeah,
Use
shoot
the
the
hard-
middle of him, because like his arms are pieces that can be blown off to make him shoot a little less.
Yeah.
But it's more efficient to just slow down to 25% and just blast away at the middle.
Gotcha.
There you
And
go.
not get hit.
Laser.
And yeah, try not to get hit.
I felt you get less hit if you have more speed, like 75%, 50% at least.
I want to
And
turn
then
around.
you
Usually
use
do
the rockets.
75, yeah.
That calling
Oh,
at the end
God.
where it fades to black. It's so good.
Well,
I'm gonna be the dead. Oh god, a shuffle.
Yeah, I realized that
Oh my god.
a polygon building up
Better get that
how to say, you don't realize that much in the open levels, like in the corridor levels.
Yeah.
Because all the modes, not mode 7 effect, but the infinite plane effect.
Oh my god, the walls keep hitting the missile.
Yeah. Those
Memphis, I think maybe you're talking about pop-in, polygon pop-in.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the term? Yeah.
Like my words are popping in.
You're right.
Oh my gosh, you kidding me? I just killed him when I died. Of
It's all right.
course.
There was
Better than last time.
it's all right. There was another boss after it, so you wouldn't have lived anyway.
Fair enough.
Sometimes there's a glitch and I land just in front of him and hit him with a sword and he can't hit me. Like in the end of the lane also works, but not every time.
Well,
Sometimes
I got some bad news, guys. We just hit the end of our stream, so we're gonna have to wait till next week to see
Yeah.
to see
Well,
it.
you still
So
got that's a good record,
hopefully.
right?
Yeah, I got farther. That was good.
And
Yeah.
perhaps there will be then like a translated ending. Wink, wink.
Yeah, hopefully.
maybe.
We're getting
Hopefully.
closer to having a redubbed ending video.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
shout out
We
to
have one.
Jiggle85 and his brother who have been re-recording the music so that we
Yeah.
can redo the
Recreating it
ending
from
of some of these.
scratch to try to make it sound like
Scratching
the
those records.
Yeah, and doing a dang good job.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Kind
a
of shocked.
prototype, but yeah, it's still lacking of quality. Like that, we are working on it.
Sounds good. Any last words before we head out, guys?
Just another shout out to Rachel who did the VO. I'm gonna put her Twitter in the chat again. Check her out. She's got some upcoming.
Yeah, but
Steam
everybody's happy
games.
with how she sounds in Bulk Slash because we are super happy. Like it came out awesome. She sounds great coming out of Naira.
Yep, she sounds fantastic. And
Exactly.
I love the voice, and I'm excited to hopefully have everybody on and talk to them about it because the voice acting, like I said, phenomenal. Like Naira. I don't know who's my favorite yet. There's just so many good ones. Probably, if I had to pick one, probably it's between medical and Naira right now.
Same. Hey, Pat, what if let's say you can't get them all on at the same time? What if we did like a podcast episode where you managed to interview them separately?
That'd be an interesting concept. I was hoping that it would be this thing, so it'd be the bulk slash streams would be like we do one character, focus on them, have the voice actor in and talk to them. Sort of that approach that I was hoping for, but we have a lot of options we can explore for that for sure. So I'll have to talk to this, but I'd like to do. I definitely want to do a podcast for this. We got a couple podcasts we need to do actually. So, but that would be a cool idea actually, like a mini series, like a mini interview episode for each one. I don't know if people would be interested in that one.
That would be cool.
Yay, podcasts.
Sounds good.
So,
All right.
Just real quick, just want to mention that we already have another navigator completely implemented in the game, and then we have one other one who's been fully recorded and is currently being remastered, and we're also in the middle of recording the final navigator. So there's lots more on the way. Our pace continues to be good, so look out for more in the very near future.
Yep. Check it out,
close
guys.
in.
Keep an eye out. I think I'm
Thanks
excited
for
to see
featuring
it.
us yet again on the SHIRO show. It's always a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no
Oh, yeah,
worries.
pleasure.
I think this is our biggest stream too. I think we had 30. We're at right now. We're at 20, but I think we were at 40 at the max at one point.
Wow. Thank you guys. Thank you all for taking the time. Check
Yeah.
out this project.
For real, I really enjoy having you guys on and talking with you, and hopefully we can keep doing this for the rest of the navigators, and of course have that famous navigator party we were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to do it.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up. I'm going to do the credits. So, for people that don't know, Sega Saturn SHIRO podcast and sort of a live stream sort of group. It's kind of hard. We're like news. We're 5 different things. Like I think media conglomerate's the best way to describe it. So, you guys haven't checked us out, check us out, SegaSaturnShiro.com. Check out the Sega Saturn Shiro podcast, the Shiro Show on YouTube. And of course, check us out on Patreon and Threadless. Check out our stuff if you want a shirt or stuff cool like that. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much, guys. Remember, you must play Sega Saturn.